Good day everyone, my name is Kyla Marie D. AYODOC, and for today's video I will be discussing about petrology. Petrology in the subject of geology for engineers. Here are some objectives for you to demonstrate deep knowledge and understanding on concepts of petrology. This includes classification of rocks, namely igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Essential knowledge or terminologies for us to know the basic knowledge about the topic that we will be tackling. Petrology comes from the Greek word petra, which means rock, and logos, which means study. So basically, petrology is the study of rocks. And rock is a natural solid, massive aggregate of minerals forming the crust of the earth. A rock is any naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of minerals or mineraloid matter. It is categorized by the minerals included, its chemical composition, and the way in which it is formed. Petrology is the branch of geology that studies rocks and the conditions under which they form. Petrology has three subdivisions, which is igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary petrology. Petrology, scientific study of rocks that deals with their composition, texture, and structure, their occurrence and distribution, and their origin in relation to physiochemical conditions and geologic processes. Here are the three main types of rocks, which is the igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks are rocks made of molten magma made liquid by intense heat deep inside the earth. Igneous rock is formed through the cooling and solidification of magma or lava. The magma can be derived from partial melts of existing rocks in either a planet's mantle or crust. These rocks are formed when magma is expelled onto the Earth's surface as lava. When lava cools down and hardens, it becomes igneous rocks such as tuff and basalt. There are two types of igneous rocks, which are intrusive igneous rock and extrusive igneous rock. Intrusive igneous rocks crystallize below Earth's surface, and the slow cooling that occurs there allows large crystals to form. Intrusive rocks are formed from a magma that cools and solidifies within the crust of the planet. Here are the four types of intrusive igneous rocks. First is granite, a light-colored igneous rock with grains large enough to be visible with the unaided eye. It forms from the slow crystallization of magma below Earth's surface. It is common in the Earth's continental crust, where it is found in bodies called plutons. Next is gabbro, a coarse-grained dark-colored intrusive igneous rock. It is the most abundant rock in the deep oceanic crust. Gabbro is a phaneritic, mafic, intrusive igneous rock formed from the slow cooling of magnesium-rich and iron-rich magma into a hollow crystalline mass deep beneath the Earth's surface. Third is diorite. It usually occurs as large intrusions, dikes, and seals within continental crust. Diorite, medium to coarse-grained intrusive igneous rock that often form above a convergent plate boundary where an oceanic plate subducts beneath a continental plate. Lastly, pegmatite are extreme igneous rocks that forms during the final stage of a magma's crystallization. They are extreme because they contain exceptionally large crystals, and they sometimes contain minerals that are rarely found in the other types of rock. Second one is the extrusive igneous rocks. It erupt into the surface where they cool quickly to form small crystals. Some cool so quickly that they form anamorphous glass. These rocks include andesite, basalt, dacite, obsidian, pumice, rhyolite, scoria, and tuff. Here are the 8 types of extrusive igneous rocks. First is the andesite. It is the name used for a family of fine-grained, extrusive igneous rocks that are usually light to dark gray in color. Andesite is typically found in lava flows produced by stratovolcanoes. Since these lavas cool rapidly at the surface, they are generally composed of small crystals. Second one is the basalt, a dark-colored, fine-grained igneous rock composed mainly of plagioclase and pyroxene minerals. It most commonly forms as an extrusive rock such as a lava flow, but can also form in small intrusive bodies such as an igneous dike or a thin seal. It has a composition similar to a gabbro. Third Third one is dacite, a fine-grained igneous rock that is normally light in color. It is often porphyritic. Dacite is found in lava flows, lava domes, dikes, seals, and pyroclastic debris. It is a rock type usually found on continental crust above subduction zones, where a relatively young oceanic plate has melted below. Next one is the obsidian, an igneous rock that forms when molten rock material cools so rapidly that atoms are unable to arrange themselves into a crystalline structure. It is an amorphous material known as a mineralite. The result is a volcanic glass with a smooth, uniform texture that breaks with a conchoidal fracture. Pumice. It is a type of extrusive volcanic rock produced when lava with a very high content of water and gases is discharged from a volcano. As the gas bubbles escape, the lava becomes frothy. When this lava cools and hardens, the result is a very light rock material filled with tiny bubbles of gas. Rhyolite is an extrusive igneous rock with a very high silica content. It is usually pink or gray in color with grains so small that they are difficult to observe without a hand lens. Rhyolite is made up of quartz, plagioclase, and cyanidin, with minor amounts of hornblende and biotite. Next one is scoria. It is a highly vesicular, dark-colored volcanic rock that may or may not contain crystals. Scoria forms when magma containing abundant dissolved gas flows from a volcano or is blown out during an eruption. As the molten rock emerges from the earth, the pressure upon it is reduced and the dissolved gas starts to escape in the form of bubbles. Lastly is tuff. It is a type of rock made of volcanic ash ejected from a vent during a volcanic eruption. Following ejection and deposition, the ash is lithified into a solid rock. Rock that contains greater than 75% ash is considered tuff, while rock containing 25% to 75% ash is described as tuffacous. The second type of rocks is sedimentary rocks. It is made from sediments. Small rocks particles, dead animals, plants, and other microorganisms settle at the bottom of lakes and oceans to form sediments. The most common sedimentary rocks include sandstone, shale, and limestone. About 75% to 80% of the Earth's landmass is composed of sedimentary rocks. The Earth's crust, however, is made up of only 5% sedimentary rocks. Shale is the most abundant type of sedimentary rock, followed by sandstone and carbonate. Here are the three types of sedimentary rocks. First is detrital. Detrital are made from the broken fragments of other rocks. It composed of rock fragments that have been weathered from pre-existing rocks. They are the most common rocks on the surface of the earth. These grains of sediments are what get cemented together to form sedimentary rocks. Second one is the chemical. It is a rocks from when dissolved minerals come out of solution. Chemical sedimentary rocks are not made from pieces of pre-existing rocks. Chemical sedimentary rocks can be found in many places, from the ocean to deserts to caves. For instance, most limestones forms at the bottom of the ocean from the precipitation of calcium carbonate and the remains of marine animals with shells. Third one is the organic. These rocks made of the remains of once living things. Organic sedimentary rocks are those containing large quantities of organic molecules. Organic molecules contain carbon, but in this context we are referring specifically to molecules with carbon-hydrogen bonds, such as materials from the soft tissues of plants and animals. The last type of rock is the metamorphic rocks. The term metamorphic itself is the combination of the Greek words meta, which means after, and morph, which means change. These are rocks that have changed as a result of exposure to extreme pressure and heat. Intense temperatures and pressure beneath the earth cause physical and chemical change to igneous and sedimentary rocks, causing them to form metamorphic rocks. These rocks are formed either by being subjected to great pressure beneath the earth or by magma coming into contact with the rocks. And that's all for my report. I hope you have learned a lot on this topic and thank you for listening. God bless and keep safe.